Welcome to Eclectic Selections, the human music recommendation service. My name is Liam Flanagan and I'll be your musical guide recommending you the best in music, wherever and whenever it came from. You're currently watching our Eclectic Extra series where once a month I'm going to be discussing a music recommendation that's a bonus for all of our followers across the internet. So now it's time to go over to either my past or my future self and see what recommendation I have for us. Today's Eclectic Extra is a special record full of special music. It might be the greatest film soundtrack of all time. It's been hugely influential and modern music wouldn't be the same without it. So, which record is it? Well, it is the Blade Runner soundtrack by Greek musician Vangelis, or Vangelis. I'm sure someone will be able to help me out in the comments, or our Discord, because sadly Vangelis recently died. I was informed of this by the Greek Man 2000 on our Discord. Really nice guy. So rest in peace Vangelis, and we'll have a look inside this package towards the end of the video. But now let's talk about this film score and what makes it unique. Usually film scores are the last thing to be added to a film during the final weeks of post-production. Yet for Blade Runner, Vangelis was working on the music for the film from about mid-1981 through till April 1982. So he was involved quite heavily for months and months in the making of the film. That meant that his work had an influence on the movie itself and vice versa. He was completely in charge of what he did. It was his vision. It was him who created this soundtrack top to bottom. Vangelis used synthesized versions of acoustic instruments to evoke a yearning for the past, the opposite of what you'd expect about a film about the future. This is an excellent use of contrast because electronic music is unjustly often called cold and unemotional. He made it expressive and moving. His studio setup was a control room full of his synthesizers, along with the usual mixing desk and tape recording machines. And this is where he composed, but he also had traditional instruments in a second live room next door. Lots and lots of percussion instruments, drums, timpanis, tubular bells, other types of orchestral percussion. And along with help from his studio assistant, he was able to have this spontaneous workflow that, yet again, it enhanced the soundtrack, it enhanced the emotiveness of the score and the quality of the score. Because like I say, it's one of the best of all time. Throughout the score, you hear Vangelis using the Yamaha CS80 analog synthesizer. It's a synthesizer that featured many performance controls, including a ribbon controller. Now what this meant was that Vangelis had greater flexibility in terms of how he could bend notes while he was playing the keys on the keyboard. This and the synth's polyphonic aftertouch meant that he could give inflection and modulation of varying amounts to all the music that he played on that synthesizer, which yet again it adds to the emotional evocativeness of the score and is not something traditionally associated with electronic music to be that expressive and emotional. So now let's take a closer look at this particular vinyl edition of the Blade Runner score. We already had a look at the front cover there, but there's more. There's some really, really nice photos from the set, and there's a quote from Vangelis, and the credits. That's all on the inside of this gatefold sleeve. It's really, really nice package. And then on the back you have the track listing, and that's a still from the film, a panoramic view of a future Los Angeles. And then there's the vinyl itself, which is a really, really nice red translucent piece of vinyl. So I'll get that out and we'll have a look at that. And So there it is. Beautiful piece of translucent red vinyl. Perfect colour. Perfect colour for a vinyl edition. A vinyl variant for the Blade Runner soundtrack. It's 180 grams as well, which, you know, everyone says that sounds better. It does sound amazing. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. A great package all in all. Blade Runner was a film about the future that was ahead of its time, and it needed a soundtrack to match. The film's depictions of a cold dystopian future demanded music that was both forward-thinking and emotionally evocative. Set in 2019, now in 2022, the Blade Runner score stands out as one of the greatest soundtracks of all time, but also as an incredible album in its own right. Vangelis was a true musical master, and he is truly a great loss to the world of music. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to support Eclectic Selections and join our community, there are various ways that you can do that. Number one, you can like, comment, and subscribe right here on YouTube. This helps our video get noticed by the YouTube algorithm, and it helps other music lovers like you find great music. You can, too, follow us over on Twitter. Here you'll get the latest news and you'll get extra recommendations. You'll be able to keep up to date with everything Eclectic Selections. You can join our Ko-fi. This is just like Patreon, so you can support us and you'll get access to extra content like private playlists with loads of recommendations, extra video recommendations from our guests, all that good stuff, and there's more coming in the future. Join our Discord community where you can chat with other music lovers and myself about music and other subjects too. All the links for all of that down in the description in our link tree. Thanks again for watching, and until next Thursday, keep it eclectic.